I mean, best case scenario, November MSG. Me and Patty on that main card. But if he needs December Vegas, that doesn't sound too bad either. By
go ahead.
I think.
Would you jump across the pond and fight him in his own backyard too?
100%, man. I would love to go to London and fight him there. I think that would be so cool. Going like, like enemy territory. I got a lot of love in London as well.
I bet.
But it would be so cool to go there. Never been.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
What is up, fam? It is Monday. Happy Monday. How are the kids? Everybody doing well? How's the dog? How's those cats of yours? How's the lizards? Fish still popping? Great, grand, wonderful. Happy Monday, everybody. I am fresh off the plane from Denver, Colorado. Went back to my hometown. I was a guest of one championship at the Broomfield Event Center to witness their amazing Amazon Prime card. And they broke ground for the first time ever in United States soil. And they did not disappoint. I've heard from many of people who I trust and respect, like, dude, you got to go to one championship. The production, just the visuals, it's just different. And I'm obviously hardcore UFC, so I'm like, okay, we'll see how it goes. And Eddie Bravo was probably the first one to tell me that. He's like, dude, I'm telling you, you've never seen anything like it. And, Eddie did commentate. I think he's commentated on Pride before, so Eddie's been around that culture, and, he knows the stuff when it comes to the fight game. So I trust Eddie, but even then, I still had my doubts. Boy, they did not disappoint, because Broomfield Event Center is where I came up as a young, strapping lad in the fight game. All my fights before the UFC, except for one, was at the Broomfield Event Center. I haven't been back since. So you're talking, over 15 years ago when I came up in the regional circuit out there in Broomfield, Colorado, during the Ring of Fire, which I don't think is around anymore. But a couple of alumni from Ring of Fire would be Donald Cerrone, Shane Carwin, Elliot Marshall, Leonard Garcia fought in the Ring of Fire. The who's who that came out of Denver: Cody Donovan, Christian Allen. The who's who's fought in the Ring of Fire, man. So it was a big deal back in the day. Now I think it's gone, which makes me sad. Either way, though, point is I haven't been back to the arena since I was a young man fighting. And so we get there, and it was already packed. And I got there, right when this thing started. I think I got there right when the main card started. So it's a little different, because on the prelims, they only had 2 fights. So I missed those 2 fights. And I got there right when the women's catchweight fight happened, the Muay Thai fight with Jackie Buntan and Martin. So I was able to see the entire main card ringside. And boy, it's just, you got to see it, man. Chan, I'm telling you, I've been to some big events, and this thing was super special. Don't even get me started. We'll get to Stamp. We'll get to Stamp.
But that's what reminded me of, the old Pride days, just a huge spectacle, which I loved.
And they have, Matt Hume, who's heavily involved in one championship, and they have some of the staff from Pride that aids in the production of one championship. And boy, can you tell. Now, I went to Pride back in the day when Fedor fought Coleman, and it was good, but I'm sure in Tokyo, in Japan, stuff like that, it's like the Tokyo Dome is probably a better event than what I saw.
It looked amazing
at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. So they did what they can. It was solid, but that wasn't better than the UFC. It just wasn't. Mm-hmm. It was good, but maybe it's because they didn't have all their assets or whatever. It just wasn't as good as the UFC event. Now this one had a big fight feel. The production, like I said, was insane. The screens, and then what they did, which I thought was smart. I don't know who thought of this on One Championship's staff, but when you sat at your seat, no matter if you were cage side or at the very top in the nosebleed sections, everyone got a bag, and the bag had certain stuff in it. But the bag had this wristband, a One Championship wristband. And I was like, what? And they're like, oh, do you mind putting it on? I'm like, yeah, no problem. So I go, my wife is with me, my coach, who I got my black belt from, Amal Easton, and then my good buddy, Jeff Suskin, who's another black belt. It was me and those 3. And so they're all like, yo, we'll put on the wristband. So we put on the wristband, and I was like, what is this for? And you got to like pull this little tab out of it. And then it just it would beat to it was connected to something. It would beat during the main event and like the big fights to their walkout song. It would like dance to the, it was nuts. So when the arena's all black, you just see all these little blue lights going boom, 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 boom. It was nuts, man. It was really smart. Really, really smart. Yeah, the whole card was fantastic. I mean, they didn't go head to head with the UFC, but from top to bottom, I mean, they starched the UFC. Now, it's just the way it goes. You know, sometimes UFC's cards are massive and exciting, and then sometimes they're boring. Sometimes when championship fights can be a little slow and not exciting. Just so happened that particular weekend, last weekend, the cards were aligned. It's their first big, breaking ground in the U.S. soil fight card, and it delivered in every possible way except for the main event. But outside that, dude, it was sizzler. So with Ruotolo and RDR, we love RDR here. We've talked about RDR. He was the light heavyweight champ out there in one championship, and he did just a jiu-jitsu match against Ruotolo, who's a twin, who's the savage, and he was definitely an underdog in this thing, definitely a bigger guy. Here's my issue with that, and you come from a guy who kind of started this trend. So when you take an MMA fighter who's good at jiu-jitsu, but they're not specialists, like a Ruotolo brother who's, that's all he does. He does not do anything else but competitive jiu-jitsu at the highest level. So RDR has the challenge of just not getting submitted. But when you're trying to, entertain a crowd, that's not really the way to go. It's just not. They could have done a Buchecha RDR who does do MMA and is an absolute savage background BJJ, and he's bigger because you're going to get a finish there. With Ruotolo being the smaller guy, RDR being the bigger guy, it wasn't exciting. It's not what you're looking for. It's just not what. Shout out to RDR for not getting submitted by Ruotolo. It's insane. But either way, all good. And this is what's interesting. So we sit down, and there's a beautiful lady to about 3 seats down, taller lady. And I'm like, God, where do I know her from? I'm trying to think because it's Denver, right? So I'm seeing tons of people I haven't seen in years. I'm like, where do I know her from? And then it hit me. I'm like, oh, that's Sage Northcutt's sister. Oh, okay. And then her husband is Raymond Daniels.
Yeah. Colby, I think it's her name, Colby. But yeah.
Yeah, Raymond Daniels, who's, legendary kickboxer.
Human highlight.
Human highlight, and one of the best to ever do it. And then they have a baby, so they brought their baby with them, who looks just like the dad, but cuter, right? You know what I'm saying, Daniel. You want a cuter daughter than your dad, but you can tell it is his kid, right? Mm-hmm. So they're sitting there, and I didn't even think about it. I'm like, yeah, Sage is on this card. But that's right when we first sat down, and then I'm sitting there, right? And then they bring up Sage's opponent, and it's that Ahmed, which isn't a favorable fight for Sage. Sage's been out 3 years. Remember, Sage literally got his face broken against Cosmo Alexander, literally face broken. So he's been out for 3 years. He's training with Team Alpha Male now. And they stand up, and Daniels has his baby, and he's like holding it, and they have the ear things on the baby, so it's so fucking loud. And then the sister, she's like tearing up, and I'm like, oh shit. And I look at my girl, and she's like, what? I'm like, that's her brother fighting. My girl's like, oh my God, this is so intense. I'm like, you got to pray to God right now Sage wins. This is going to be a rough night. I've sat next to families when their family member doesn't win. It will ruin our night, trust me. And she's like, oh my God. And my girl's never seen Sage, and he comes out and looks like a goddamn superhero. Like if Marvel was going to make a character and Sage went in for the audition, they're like, this is too spot on. What are we doing? Look at his body. No one looks like that. His body was ridiculous. In person, I was like, dude, this is the best body I've ever seen. It was nutsos. Again, this fight was, he was an underdog, not favorable for him. So I look at my girl, I'm like, this could be a long night, man. This kid, he's just been managed wrong. Like his entire career has been mismanaged. He checks every single box you want out of a fighter. Great looking kid, right? Skills, works his ass off, good person. You don't have to worry about, getting DUIs or running into old ladies in a car. You don't have to worry about any of this. Good kid, works his ass off. He's the Tim Tebow of mixed martial arts. That's what he is. And so I'm telling my girl about him. I'm giving her the whole background. She's like, oh my God, I hope he wins. I'm like, me too. And then we look over and the sister's crying. As he's walking out, she's filming, she's crying. And my girl starts to tear up because she has a brother, you know? So she's like, and I'm like, oh my dear God, Sage, please pull this off, dude. And I'm talking to Raymond Daniels. I'm like, hey man, did you help him out with this camp? I'm just trying to like figure out. I'm like, did you like help him out with the camp? He goes, I mean, I give him tips here and there, but no, he's with Team Alpha Male, man, you know? So it's whatever they do with him. And I was like, man, I just feel like this kid's been mismanaged. And Daniel's like, right? I'm like, this kid is a superstar. If you just give him the right time to develop, this kid's gonna be a fucking superstar. I'm like, I don't like this fight for him. And Raymond was like, I don't either, man. You know, it's just tough. It is. He's at the big league, so there's nothing we can do. I'm like, oh, I hope he wins. Comes out, boom, first freaking 20 seconds, throws a jab, knocks him on his ass. I'm like, oh, this is terrible. Gets taken down. I'm like, this is not good. And then this little beautiful bastard, this jacked bastard gets him in this heel hook and finishes him in 40 seconds, man. 40. What a night for Sage Northcutt. Look at this dude. Got the win bonus, you know? And then, you know, after this, you know, still his face isn't 100%.
Oh, it's still healing?
No, because I was talking to his sister. I'm like, you know, this is so good for him, and you know, this and this. And she's like, yeah, you just got, you know, his face. You just gotta, you know, you gotta hope that heals 100% correctly. So it kicked off with Sage Northcutt with a ridiculous submission. Did see that coming. Then next up, right? The people I'm with don't know one championship. So, and I go, oh, this next fight is my favorite fight on the card. This guy, Soldic, he's the Croatian. He's this huge free agent. The UFC tried going for him. Everyone sent him an offer. He decided to sign with one championship. And I've heard rumblings of how much he gets paid, and it's nuts. So the one championship, Chatri's all in on this guy. And then he's fighting this Kate Stam. This dude's built like a praying mantis, and they're showing us highlights. I'm like, damn, this dude's a bad mamma jamma. This dude, and he called Soldic out. I'm like, this dude's a bad mamma jamma, right? Look, dude, he looks like a bad guy from a movie.
Like a Bond movie.
Yeah. Bond, or like the old school like henchman, like European henchman. Mm-hmm. You know, he's someone Liam Neeson's gonna come for. He took Liam Neeson's daughter. That's what he looks like. So Soldic comes out. The intro's nuts. It's very Crow Cop-ish, right? The Croatian flags. It's going. He's walking out. I'm like, this is the dude. Here we go. This is the guy. I'm like, I guarantee this does not go to decision. I'm like, my girl's like, I gotta pee. I'm like, don't go to the bathroom. He's about to knock his ass out. You got to see this. And then as Soldic is walking to the cage, your boy Kate Stam is pacing like a lion. But you know how most guys just do their thing, they're talking to coaches? He's pacing like a lion at the zoo, staring on, he left his corner, he's where the walkout path is, and he's pacing back and forth and won't take his eyes off of him. Soldic gets in the ring, and he's getting in his face, just talking shit. I'm like, damn, this dude's confident. First round happens. Soldic is very reliant on his left hand. He's just kind of throwing lefts, not setting up. I'm like, all right, expect a little more out of him here. He's not really, you know, the kicks not working there. Definitely, you would watch in the first round and be like, oh, Kate Stam's outmatched there. Like now, granted, he's a 14-1 dog. 14-1. That's how much hype is on Soldic. 14-1, and this is really his first fight in one championship. Last fight was a DQ, it was a mess. So this is his first real fight. The Kate Stam gets, it's not 10-8 round, but you can tell like it's just a matter of time before he gets knocked out. Second round happens. Dude, Kate Stam knocks him out so bad. I mean, starched him. And everyone's like, oh my God, 14-1 dog. 14-1 dog. Knocked him out cold. So it's tough. You know, that's the fight business. That's why Vince McMahon goes, I would never invest in mixed martial arts because you can't control the stars. Like it's too easy to lose. There's too many ways to lose. I would never, you know, partake in that business. And this is the example. Like Soldic has all the accolades, has every reason to be world champion. The one championship pays him up the fucking gazoo, and then boom, knockout. Gets starched. Bad too. Bad. He was out for a while. Bad. And my girl's sitting in the cage side. She's never seen this like cage side. And she's like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, man. I've been there. When I've been there, I'm talking about the guy on the ground. I've been there. And I've been the guy up top, but I've been the guy on the bottom. And it is a rough go. Let's take a little break with all the things going on in the fight world. Because, listen, I only recommend products that your boy personally uses. I just took a little shot here. I'll leave one here, but in case of emergency, I will swallow this right now. It's the Kratom, the best Kratom on the planet. This is the sour apple. This is the straight Kratom to the brain shot right here. The sour apple, I like the butterscotch myself. But listen, if you haven't tried Kratom, now is the time, but you got to use it with a brand that you trust, a brand that I asked to be on the shows because I freaking use it every single day. We're talking about Happy Hippo. Helps you tackle your busy schedule, helps you get through life, just helps you get stuff done, all right? It's not give you some crazy energy like a cup of coffee or something like that. No, you're talking about it's going to just help you get in that zone, a good mood feeling, all right? Their Kratom, they got gummies, powders, the shots, they got it all. Whatever way you want to get the Kratom into your body, we got you covered. You can trust my friends at Happy Hippo. All right, it's my hidden gem. It's my limitless pill. Go to happyhippo.com. Promo code is THICC23, thick with 3 C's. You save 20% off for life. Use that code as many times as you want with your friends, family, cousins, coworkers, whoever you want. Share it. Happyhippo.com. Promo code THICC23 for the best Kratom on planet Earth. Get you some. Happyhippo.com. Promo code THICC23. Now is the time, kids. On It is doing their big old semi-annual sale. No, it's not Black Friday. It's On It semi-annual sale. Right now, you can get the lowest prices on Its most popular products. I'm talking about for a limited time. To May 14th, to be exact, you get 25% off Alpha Brain, 10% off kettlebells, and up to 60% off on other products. Don't wait too long because, like I said, the sale ends May 14th. All right, so take advantage of their On It semi-annual sale. Go to onnit.com/Schaub and you get instant access to their semi-annual deal. Right now, all your health and fitness essentials, don't miss out on it. It's an incredible sale and it's going to go fast. And once they're sold out, they're out. So get you some right now. You get 25% off Alpha Brain. Usually I'm giving you guys 10% off, but for this semi-annual sale, you get 25% off Alpha Brain. If you want to try the best nootropic on planet Earth, now is the time. That's onnit.com/Schaub for 25% off Alpha Brain, 10% off kettlebells, and up to 60% off other great items. It's On It semi-annual sale. Get on it right now. onnit.com/Schaub. Let's get back to the program. So then, and the crowd, here's what's dope too, because that one championship crowd was educated. Because the applause for Soldic was nuts. When he lost, his family and fan base was over here, and they were going nuts. Mm-hmm. But the whole crowd was going nuts for Soldic. I'm like, damn, they know their stuff. Sage, I figured would get a big applause. He, UFC guy, came over to the States. I figured that. But when I heard the applause of Soldic, I'm like, damn, this educated crowd. Here we go. Then Stamp Fairtex comes out. Now I thought Stamp is only big in Asia, Thailand. Stamp, bro. It was like Conor McGregor walking down that bitch. Wow. Everyone's on their feet. Everyone's phones are out. And my coach, Amal Easton's like, she's my favorite. I'm like, Stamp Fairtex? He's like, oh, dude, her walkouts are insane. So he gets out and he's like, film it. He's 52. And he's like, filming. I'm like, dude, take it easy. Dude, so she comes out and my girl's never seen her. She's like, oh my God, she's so cute. She's like doing, she's doing her little dance, very Thai dancing, doing this like K-pop dance. The cute little thing, right?
Yeah.
And I've never seen her I know she dances and stuff, but I'm like, oh, she's a little too loosey goosey. The girl she's fighting, this American girl, in her corner is Rose and Pat Barry. I'm like, oh damn, so she's trained properly, right?
Oh snap!
Yeah. So Elise Anderson. So Stamp comes out. I'm like, gosh, hopefully she fucking gets in the zone here. And so she's doing her dancing. And then because we were right by where they enter the cage. Mm-hmm. So she's doing her dancing. She's all smiling, like cute little thing. I'm like, God damn, this girl cannot get any cuter. She's doing her thing. And then she stops the dancing and her face goes from 0 to 100 and just boom. I'm like, oh, damn. Like Amal, who loves her, was like, oh, I wish I didn't see that. That was not. I'm like, what'd you think, dude? She was going to dance all the way up to the fucking cage. So once the intro stopped, she's all business, gets in that cage. First round, they're going back and forth. Stamp had this ridiculous transition where she takes her back. For a Muay Thai girl, high level shit. Takes her back. Round ends there. Second round starts. Dude, she hits her with this body kick, and her coaches go, her ribs are broke. It hits her.
It looked bad.
I mean, it's full. You couldn't kick it back harder. Like her technique, the full blown, you see her hip, every waka, you can hear it. Mm-hmm. And that girl's done, donezo. And then the the applause Stamp Fairtex got, it would blow you. I was like, holy, legit superstar. Rodtang probably got the biggest applause, but Stamp Fairtex right there, man. Superstars. And I thought they were just big in Asia. I was like, I bet the crowd's like, oh, she's cute. No. So they're chanting her name like a motherfucker. And then Mikey, our boy Mikey Musumeci, who was on Fire and the Kid, who I absolutely adore, he comes out. And again, because that first jiu-jitsu match with RDR and Ruotolo, I'm like, hopefully this isn't one of those boring things. Man, but this, I would say Stamp and Rodtang definitely biggest applause. I'd say the crowd was mainly a Mikey crowd. They knew his whole, he does that, he does this. They were all doing that. They're chanting his name. Everyone's tuned in. He just never gave Osama a chance. Like, he was constantly attacking his legs. When he came out for the takedown, he was just giving him his leg. Like, go ahead, see what happens. And it was like this octopus. Just listen, I've been doing jiu-jitsu, 16 years. I'm my black belt. I don't know what the fuck that. I don't know. It's not the world I came from. It's what those kids are doing is different. I'm playing Tecmo Ball. These kids are playing the new Madden online with each other, talking shit. I'm playing Tecmo Ball still. Like, I don't know what it's going on down there. And he would go for a submission and wouldn't get it and be close. Then finally got him. Finally freaking got him with a rear naked choke. But that crowd was nuts for him, man. Nutsos. Then Rodtang came out. He's fighting this Edgar Tabares, who's a Mexican world champion, and my girl's Mexican as shit, right? So she's like, oh, I'm going for him. I'm like, all right, bitch, good luck. And Rodtang, he's been in 400-something fights. I was like, man, he looks like he doesn't even want to be here. He'd kick him, just do his thing, kick him, do his thing. And then he would throw a kick. Every time he threw a kick, that Mexican Muay Thai fighter would do a spinning back elbow, and it's close. It's like right across his face. I'm like, that ain't good. This keeps going on. He's going to land that. Rodtang with 1,000 fights, seen it before, doing a thing. Like, he knows what's exactly coming. It's in the second round. He throws that kick. The dude goes to throw the spin elbow. This motherfucker catches it like the Matrix. Catches it, same arm, elbow, boom, knockout. Like, God, dog. The whole crowd chanting Rodtang. He can't even do the interview. They're shouting Rodtang so much. They can't get through the interview. And the announcer's just waiting, and they can't. The crowd's so hyped up off this knockout, chanting Rodtang. You're talking about legit superstars, man. Legit superstars. So you have that all going on. Finally, the main event comes. I'm like, damn, it's a long-ass card. Main event comes. I'm like, let's go, DJ. And it was just mainly great, when you have two high-level athletes like that, and they're trying to implement a game plan. Sometimes this happens. Happened a little bit in the UFC main event with Sterling Cejudo, which we'll get to. But with Demetrious Johnson, who thinks he's right, thinks he's the best in the world in the clinch, and Adriano Moraes being the bigger guy, he beat him up in the clinch. The only problem with that, it just doesn't make for an exciting fight for the fans. But DJ definitely, dominated the fight, won the fight. It just, I think the standard was set so high, because look at that. You have submission, and nothing goes past the second round. Nothing. Submission, TKO, KO from Stamp Fairtex, submission by Mikey Musumeci, ridiculous KO by Rodtang, and the main event. And you get to, so people are just like, come on. Like, there's blood in the air. It's like, come on. It just wasn't happening. At that high level, just sometimes that happens. But DJ looked great. Got it done. Altitude was not an issue for him. I think altitude was an issue for Moraes, but DJ got it done, man. And that was his last one? I don't think so. Because he was like, they're like, what about? And they mentioned some guy, and he's like, yeah, show me the money. I don't think it's his last one.
Yeah, he asked the crowd too. It's like, you guys want me to do one more? There was
like, no. And then Rodtang was like, yeah, he wants to go up. The guy who's the world champion, the weight class up, he's like, I'd like to go there. And the guy's massive. Wow. Massive. But just from top to bottom. But main event happens. But other than that, my God, it was unreal. One of the best events I've ever been to. Fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely so impressed, man. So damn impressed. It was a good time. Great time. So I flew back because we had Calabasas Fight Companion for UFC 288, which on paper is a great card. Our boy Matt Frevola, the steamroller, should have been on the main card. I kept saying that. And I think it'd be, it's tough because where do you put him? You would probably put him to kick the main card off over Cron Gracie because I don't think we realized Cron Gracie was like, wait, it's not 1994? And no one's like, no, you got to advance your skills, dude. You just can't have zero strike and expect someone to jump into your guard. You know, it's just not, it's not the Royce Gracie days, dude. The game, he's been off 3 years. That's how fast this game evolves. He's been off 3 years, thought he's so dominant jiu-jitsu, he can go no wrestling, no striking. No, there's not a jiu-jitsu player in the world who's going to win a UFC fight just based off jiu-jitsu. Never going to happen. Those days are over. Now, if you're a wrestler, you can get it done. Striking, depending on the right matchup, could probably get it done. Outside that, not happening, dude. You can't just be a jiu-jitsu guy and win fights in the UFC on any level in the UFC. The 100th ranked guy at the featherweight division is going to beat you. He's more well-rounded. He can't avoid that jiu-jitsu, especially if you don't have a takedown arsenal as far as even a single leg, a trip. If you don't have any of that and you expect them just to come to you, what are we doing here? What are we doing? You know? It was just tough. That kind of set the tone for the main card. Set the tone for the main card. Problem is when the card's this long and drawn out, you have 5 decisions and a quick one KO from Jan over Jessica Andrade, which is a ridiculous KO. It just doesn't make for a fun card. It was just a long, kind of drawn out, boring night. The New Jersey fan base was not having it, you know, because again, Matt, our boy Steamroller, set the tone. Starts Drew Dober, dude. A guy who has a Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Fame, granite chin. If the granite chin Hall of Fame, he's in there. Especially right now in the UFC. He's top 5 and gets starched, man. With what, 52 seconds left in the first round? So that set the tone, you know, and he lives nearby, so everyone was all crunk about that. So it just makes it tough. And for Matt, you know, we have him on the show. And, you know, he wants Paddy Pimblett next. Hopefully Paddy's injury is healed with the ankle surgery and that fight happens because that has main card written all over it, especially if Aljo's going to fight in August in Boston against Sugar Sean. Put Matt and Paddy on there. They're a great card. That might be too soon for Paddy. So if I'm a steamroller, I'm waiting to November, something like that, to make sure I get that Paddy fight because that's a big fight, dude. Big fight. Great fight, too. Tough fight for Matt. Tough fight for Paddy. Great fight. Great fight of 2 young bucks trying to become world champions. So take my money. You know, and then also with the co-main event with Muhammad and Gilbert Burns, I told you guys, take the dogs. So Steamroller won, Muhammad won, Aljo won. So told you, take the dogs. But with Muhammad Gilbert Burns, you could tell that Gilbert was compromised, his left hand. I don't know when it happened. Has he said anything about it? What round it happened? I didn't see anything. But you know, a lot of it you can credit Muhammad through the kicks. Completely taking away Gilbert Burns' best tool, his left hook. Those kicks neutralized that, so he couldn't throw it. Was the kicks from Muhammad the reason he broke his hand? I would probably assume so. But again, that was just. So McGregor says very poor bout. It's not a poor bout. This is the problem because for Muhammad, he's fighting a guy in Gilbert Burns who's an absolute savage, and he kind of dominated. Now it's not it's not Muhammad's fault or Gilbert's, but it's not Muhammad's fault that Gilbert broke his hand. Matter of fact, it's probably due to him throwing the kicks and the way he was fighting. So let's say.
Most arms causing heavy bruising and redness to spread.
Yeah, I mean, so it's due to kicks. That's part of fighting, you know. So that's a great job by Muhammad. And man, did he cement himself to be the next one to get a title shot at 170? There's no way that you can discipline Bilal Muhammad after this fight. You just can't. It's not his fault that Gilbert was compromised. Matter of fact, the reason he was compromised is because of the training and execution of Muhammad. Nobody else could get it done. And Gilbert's been on this, you know, this great streak, and he stopped him straight in his tracks, dominated for 5 rounds. Maybe give 1 round to Gilbert, probably a shutout for Muhammad. So there's no way, shape, or form can you rob Muhammad of the next title shot. I bet he'll be the reserve for Leon Edwards and Colby Covington. Now, if you're Colby and you're watching this, y'all, thank God. Because if Muhammad went out there and, you know, knocked him out in 15 seconds, you're going to have a lot of pressure on Dana to give Muhammad the next fight. That didn't happen, so it's a huge win for Kobe that night. Probably the biggest winner, to be honest. Muhammad did his job. He just didn't do it in a way that we can demand that he fights for the next title. Yes. You just can't. It's such. I know. It's so fucked up. It's such a bummer. But he did enough where he's guaranteed the next title shot. Yeah. Depending on how that goes, depending when it's scheduled. Listen, don't put it past Dana to make him fight one more, though. That's the shame. That's what's the real shame.
Maybe another one after that. Who knows?
So it said he had a tear in his shoulder. I think it was in the first scramble on the ground when he took him down. He's got a tear.
Yeah, so a shoulder injury.
Well, so he had a tear from his shoulder during a scramble. Well, that scramble happened because of Muhammad.
Yeah.
So that's part of fighting. That's good on Muhammad. Says checking the shoulder tomorrow, hoping no surgery. Yeah, how can you not love Gilbert Burns, man? Such a good dude. Mm-hmm. But for Muhammad, just like, I hope they'll make him fight another one. Because think what he did for the UFC. Stepped up after Ramadan, 2 weeks notice, fights Gilbert Burns, beats him, shutout, and this is just the world we live in. The fans are like, I don't know, man. Like, what? Look at his resume. There's no one more deserving the title shot than Muhammad. What the are we doing if that doesn't speak for itself? What do you want him to do? A TikTok dance? A slap fight competition? What the fuck you want this guy to do? Your title shot? It's insane. But the biggest winner of the night would be probably Colby Covington. Now there's no pressure to see Muhammad fight Leon Edwards. It's such a bummer. But he did cement himself. Hopefully they'll make him fight again. You never know. Main event, Aljo, Henry Cejudo. I think this was a case of just, two of the highest level guys. Henry Cejudo taking 3 years off. I thought he came out a little slow. But I just think Aljo's just a better fighter. He beat him across the board. Anybody who, makes a living off critiquing fighting had Aljo winning the fight. Chin did not. And Chin glasses are foggy and have a good angle. Let's just be honest. You don't have a good angle.
Still have him
during the fight companion. You just have bad angle, and that's okay. I'm not gonna, still got your job.
I have something for you too after this.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. But here's the other bummer. So for Bilal Muhammad and Aljo, who both don't get enough credit in this fight business, for Aljo, he's getting booed by a New Jersey crowd at the end of the fight because Sugar Sean's such a star. People want to see that. So now the narrative isn't that Aljo beat one of the best combat sport athletes of all time, maybe the best. It's the antics of Sugar Sean and his boy Merab taking his jacket with that shit-eating grin when he got his jacket. That was so funny. But I think it's good. We are going to get streaks of WWE and Enos with with them kind of being co-partners now or partners now in the same business. So I like, Sugar Sean jump in the ring, give him the promo, building the fight up. Now we know what's coming up next. I love all that. Sugar's doing a post-fight interview, even though he didn't fight, talking about the fight. It just builds up Aljo and Sugar even more. Maybe he doesn't kill. Maybe he doesn't care. Like Muhammad is like, this New Jersey crowd sucks. Aljo's like, this crowd sucks. They kind of turned on him. They're just unfulfilled. The entire card screwed both those gentlemen over who don't get enough credit already. So for Aljo, I told you guys after this fight, the narrative, no matter how it goes, whether he knocked him out in 13 seconds or being by decision, which he did, I thought, oh man, I would give for sure 1 round to Cejudo. I can see 2, no more than 2. Not a chance you give more than 2. Either way, Aljo beat him pretty convincingly. But even, I told you guys, that's still not enough to satisfy those haters of Aljo, or Muhammad in this case, but for Aljo, because they go, Cejudo's old, man, 3 years off. Not the same guy. Okay. What about he took him down 4 times? The guy's been taken down once prior to this. Taken down 4 times? You don't think it's a case of Henry Cejudo, one of the greatest to ever do it. Aljo's been working for the past 3 years, only get better. He's gotten better since those Peter Yan fights, Corey Sandhagen fights, TJ Dillashaw. He's getting better he's in his prime. So I think this was not the case of Henry Cejudo being older. I think it's the case of how fucking good Aljo is, and you guys need to recognize that. But this isn't going to do it. I knew this wasn't going to do it. despite the crowd, this could have been in Vegas. This could have been Aljo's, grandma's backyard. Doesn't matter. The fan base was not going to give him his credit. So now he's going to get Sugar Sean, which is actually a more favorable matchup than Henry Cejudo. I would say Aljo's probably going to be a 2-1 favorite at least. That won't do it, because then the narrative there is Sugar has no wrestling. So I don't know what it's going to take. It might take probably looking a year out from now for Aljo to step up and fight at 145 and fight Volkanovski. So if he beats Volkanovski, will that satisfy you guys? Does he have to do that? Does he have to beat the pound for pound number one guy in the world? Might be John Jones. A lot of people still have Volkanovski. Does he have to beat Volkanovski in order to get your respect? It's crazy to me. Crazy. The MMA community is insane to me. Sterling opened the odds betting favorite, jumped out minus. There you go, 2-1 favorite. Called it. Yeah, stylistically. Now I'm not saying Sugar can't win this fight. Sugar's striking is a lot better than Sterling's. More diversity, more tools, very rangy, hits like a Mack truck. He leads guys in, So there's definitely a route where I can see Sugar Sean winning this fight. But that being said, it's stylistically, it's a very, very tough fight for Sugar. Very much so favors Aljo. Just styles. It's just the way it goes at this level. But I don't know what's going to take for Aljo to get the respect. It's so hilarious to me. It's just never going to happen. But again, the star of this card, besides Sugar Sean and Merab, who didn't even fight, would be Steamroller.
Yeah.
Has to be. And he got the bonus. So we'll see, man. But overall, not a card that we're going to remember. That's the shame. What do you got, Jen?
Yeah, because of the last two fights. But so yeah, I was wondering, am I tripping when I saw that? I thought that Cejudo, not dominated at all. I'm saying just barely edged it out. So I looked at, Verdict MMA, which I talked about before. It tallies up a score of people like media and just fans and everyone around the world. So I think they said it was the closest ever. This was one of the closest title fights ever on Verdict, and Henry Cejudo had a higher final score with a differential of just 0.14. And I remember, I was honest with you, I don't judge fights round by round, which is exactly how you're supposed to judge UFC fights. That's the way it works. I just look at who I thought actually won the fight as a whole. One championship.
That's how one championship does, which I like.
Just what I do.
Which I like.
Yeah, that's just how I look at it. So that's why I kind of barely had Henry win.
Yeah, you're wrong, but
I know.
I like that.
I'm just saying, but it's interesting that Verdict, they got the total score. So it's not like a, it was so close. It was just super, super close.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was robbed. You know what I'm saying? It's not one of those fights where Henry Cejudo got robbed. Not one of those.
I just want to see if I was tripping. If I was am I seeing this correctly? Because I just really
I can see it. If you don't have an untrained eye and you're drinking, I can see how you got that.
Definitely both
your
of
glasses
those.
are all fucked up.
Fogged up glasses, drinking, all that stuff. Yeah.
It didn't sway you when Dominick Cruz is the greatest 135 of all time, who's
no, both of you guys, because you guys are you're experienced, your fighters. Dominick's that's his job too, as an analyst. You've done analyst stuff too as well. So I remember when Dom said bye to me, he's like, "Hey man, nice to meet you, but you're crazy." I'm so, he's right. I mean, he's the analyst. He's actually picking everything apart. I'm not.
Now, if Dom would have been I think Cejudo won that fight. He fights at 135. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. He's a professional analyst. I'd been I need to sober up then. I mean, I'm just off on this. I would, if Dom says that, I'm like, damn, I really need to get my shit together. But when he even co-signed that Aljo, he's like, this is easy, Aljo. He's like, but with judging, you never know. But he was like, I have Aljo winning. I'm like, thank God. Thank God.
So I'm not going to be
a judge ever. And shout out to Dominick Cruz, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude.
How badass is he?
You guys don't understand the stress I was under. So I land in Denver and going through my head, I've been so busy, but we have a booker for the show. And so it was going to be Ryan Garcia and George Janko. And, George doesn't know UFC at all in any facet. He might watch some of the big ones here and there, but he didn't know fight at all. George could, talk the air off of a wall. He can just talk. He's a great person to throw things off of, and he'll keep the conversation going. He's great at podcasting, and I love the kid. So we had George on there, and he's just, it's like having a Comic-Con who doesn't know fighting. They're just there for entertainment. And then I was thinking about all right, I got Ryan Garcia, who also doesn't watch MMA. This is looking at the card, I'm like, it's gonna be a slow. I assume it's gonna be a slower card. There's a lot that's going on in the world of UFC, especially the bantamweight division, especially in the welterweight division. There's a lot to untangle here. These two don't know shit about fighting. I need somebody in that fourth chair, because originally we just knew the three of us. I was like, I need somebody in that fourth chair who I can bounce off of and, argue with me or debate me on what's going to happen next and break down the fight. And then, Dominick Cruz came to my mind. I thought, there's no way they're not using Dom during this weekend. It's 135. He's probably up to his fucking ears and breaking down and analyzing this fight. And then my booker, Tom, goes, no, dude, he just posted a video giving pics. He looks like he's at home in San Diego. So I text him, yo, man, you around? He's like, what's up? I'm like, how fast can you get to LA? He's like, what's up? I'm like, dude, I'm doing a Fight Command show. He's like, let me look at it. And I'm like, no way. And then probably like an hour, I'm like, oh, come on, Dom, let's do this. Hour later, he goes, I'm in. See you soon. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. And I go, ETA, nothing. Hour goes by, nothing. At 6 o'clock, show starts live at 7. Ryan Garcia texts me, dude, boy, did I mess up. Flight complication, not going to make it there by 7, dude. I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, we go live an hour. He's like, I'm so sorry, dude. I'm just not going to be able to make it. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right, well, that's just me and George. You can't do a show. I'm going to have to cancel the show. And then I text Dom, ETA, ? With like a face like, the emoji like, ee. And then 30 minutes goes by and he goes, I'll be there right around 7:20. I'm like, you are a goddamn saint, sir. Dude, you saved the incredible day. He couldn't be a better person to have on. Thank God for Dominick Cruz. I said, I owe you, man. He goes, I don't know what you're going to owe me, but yeah, when I need something, I'm going to hit you up.
And that's from San Diego, not just to LA, but Calabasas, which is a freaking drive.
It's a track, dude. And he did it. Him and his boy came. Oh, sure. Dude, lifesaver.
And Dojo, he brought Dojo, the dog.
Yeah, his dog. Yeah.
Brighten up everyone's day.
Dude, the best. Oh, I owe Dom. Saved the day, dude. Absolutely love Dom. And I told you guys too, like me and Dom were, we've worked together before many years. At Fox, they'd always put us together when I was breaking down stuff on Fox. And me and Dom would always clash a little bit, not nothing mean, but just our opinions on fights and stuff like that. And we'd butt heads. And so there wasn't like chemistry there, because Dom's a fiery dude. Yeah. But man, that dude, you want to talk about somebody that's worked on themselves? I don't know if he's doing therapy or what. How nice is Dominick Cruz?
He's the coolest, man.
Now don't get it twisted, he's a savage.
Yes, I've heard the story.
He's the combo, he's the Kobe mentality where he will rip your fucking throat off, but he's just worked on himself so much. And that comes out when he's analyzing fights, and he's such a mastermind of the game, just the way he thinks about things. Like his opinion, I'm sure it's going to be one of the clips of, I was like, man, how do you feel about Aljo and Merab not wanting to fight each other? He goes, I don't understand that. He's like, I'd love to fight my teammate. Think about it. He's like, think about it. The only other person in the world that they can bring to fight is a guy that my brother that I'm working. That means we're doing something right. He's like, that'd be such an honor, man, that we get to fight each other. Nobody knows each other better. It'd be so cool. I'm like, that's such a good perspective, man. When back in the day, I figured like he'd be like, I'll fight my mom. You know what I'm saying? But he just breaks it down so brilliantly. He's so good, man. So shout out to Dominick Cruz. I owe you, buddy. I owe you. How you doing, brother? What a freaking win, dog. I don't want to say it's good luck when you come on the show, but I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Just got to keep coming on, man. It was unreal, and it's still honestly sinking in.
Yeah, because you're talking about a guy, and we talked about this last week before your fight. It's like Drew Dober is this absolute savage who hits like a Mack truck, and obviously so do you, but you have to, be smart about it. You don't want to play that game. And we did the Calabasas Fight Companion, but we only do the main card. And so we got here early to watch your fight, and it just set the boys, all of us were jumping around, man. We were so happy for you. I was just happy because I didn't imagine it going like that quick. I thought for sure you're going to win, put money on you to win, but I didn't think you'd go down like that. It was nuts, man.
Yeah, honestly, I was planning on wrestling him, but I was doing well with the striking. I saw his nose busted up, like I busted his nose up right away. And then, even like when I was in there, I knew I was landing, but I knew I was whiffing on some punches too. But I threw some kicks. I got some knees off, and I was doing well on the feet, so I was just keeping it standing.
And Dober's a dude too who's known for his chin, my man. Like Dober can take a hit.
Yeah, man. I had to remind everyone about this F-bomb.
That freaking F-bomb, bro. I tell you what, I bet you the UFC this morning in their whole marketing meeting this morning, like, we should have put the steamroller on the main event, the main card. We did. That main card could have used it, man. That main card was, you were the highlight of the card. By far, the entire card. Like the rest of that main event, man, was, and it's no disrespect to anybody on the main card, but it was a long one, bro. Especially for someone working it, it was a long, slow card.
And that's how, Aljo could beat anybody in the world that way. He could strangle anybody, or he could go out there, wrestle, and outpoint. And Aljo, he's like healthy now. Like he's very good at he winning. He's a competitor and he win.
Yeah,
he won.
Yeah, I'm going to get to Aljo. I want to stay on you for a second because after you get that insane knockout, then you call out Paddy Pimblett, which I think, anybody who's following you and has spoken to you and, if on Twitter, we figured that was going to come. My only caveat with that is he's going to be out for, do we know when he's going to come back? Love the fight. Hope they give it to you. My only thing is is it actually possible?
Yeah, definitely. He had that ankle surgery. I think he'll be ready by the end of the year. Best case scenario, November MSG. Me and Patty on that main card. But if he needs December Vegas, that doesn't sound too bad either. By
go ahead.
I think.
Would you jump across the pond and fight him in his own backyard too?
100%, man. I would love to go to London and fight him there. I think that would be so cool going like enemy territory. I got a lot of love in London as well.
I bet.
But it would be so cool to go there. Never been.
Oh, it's great, man. And then also, it seems like it could be a possibility too if you're talking about that kind of time frame with his ankle. But he also replied on Twitter, was like, "Yeah, let's do it." He's like, "It's gonna be the easiest route to get into the top 15." I was like, "Yeesh, I don't know about that, Patty."
Oh, bro, but I don't blame him, man. You look at the top 15 of the lightweight division, and anybody could beat anybody on any given day, and I think me and him will just have such an exciting fight. I know I'm human as well. Anybody could get knocked out, and I know that on my day I could beat anybody in the world. All I need is the opportunity, and I think styles make fights. And, me and Patty, we'll throw on the feet, and then I'll grapple with him too, man. I love jiu-jitsu. Eventually I want to use my jiu-jitsu and show my wrestling again. I was planning on doing that with Dober, but,
quit knocking dudes out, man. So you can show them jiu-jitsu skills. Yeah. But I think, and me and Dominick Cruz were talking about this on the Fight Companion. When you look at really about 185 and under, maybe even 170 and under, 1 through 15, it's all about who's going to be champion. It's all about matchups and styles because anyone 1 through 15 can be world champion. All you guys have the skill set to do it.
Yeah, no, that's why it's an exciting division. And, dude, I'm just so pumped to, be in the mix now. I think that everybody knows that, I show up to fight and always put on exciting fights. And that, I have the power that I can knock out anybody in the world.
How did you celebrate Saturday night?
Went up to the suite. My friends and family all had a suite. There was like 40 people in the suite, and watched the rest of the fights. Watched Aljo get it done, and then was walking around the stadium and just seeing everyone. It was like I was getting mauled. I was out there. It was like the first time when my one buddy was trying to act like my security.
Yeah. You notice the one friend just kind of takes charge and like, oh damn, this is how it's gonna go now, huh? And then they still become your manager. It's weird, dude. It's a weird transition. Yeah, it's super weird.
It was so cool. But I got so much love from the people in New Jersey, and so many people came out to the fights. It was an unreal moment.
Yeah, it was a good night for your entire camp, man. And like I said, was there pressure setting the tone, and you set the tone in a major, major way. And, unfortunately, that New Jersey crowd was a little rough. A little rough. They want more excitement. They won 5 kind of performances like you had. That's what they wanted on the main card. Main card was a little slow. And then with Aljo, I thought it was interesting because, again, I'm drinking, I only had 1 glass of whiskey. Usually I have to watch fight over because I get a little drunk on those companions. But this one I was good. I was paying attention, watching with Dominick Cruz, and who's a perfect person to watch it with. And we both scored it pretty easily for Aljo. And, that one judge who gave it to Henry, insane. And there's been really across the board as far as like people in my space, like the analysts or experts, quote unquote, almost everyone gives it to Aljo. It's not that controversial.
Yeah, it was a close competitive fight, and you really got to go, round by round. But every round was, pretty competitive. But, Aljo won that fight. Aljo beat him. And, it's on to the next now.
Dude, how about Aljo landing takedowns?
Yeah,
I heard a statistic. Henry coming into this fight in his entire career has been taken down once, I think by Demetrious Johnson. I think Aljo, look this up, Chin. Aljo, as far as if the company strike numbers go, took him down 4. I think he had 4 takedowns. Which do they count as takedowns? Nuts.
That's the bantamweight. That's the bantamweight goat now.
Dude, he's looking good, and he got to his back. Like, that's what I had Dominick Cruz break the fight down. He was like, if we know how good Aljo is on the back, Henry knows. So he's not going to allow that to happen. I don't think he's allowed that to happen. I said, well, to kind of piggyback on that, is Aljo so special at taking the back? It doesn't matter if Henry knows it's coming. He can't stop it. And that's what happened. It just shows you the skill level of Aljo, man. He looked phenomenal. And I know people want knockouts and stuff like that, but that was a very strategic win over, one of the best combat sports athletes of all time, if not the best.
Yeah, and that, that's why, he's the best in the world in that position. And just his grappling is so high level, but his fight IQ, and the thing he fought 5 rounds and he's like not hurt, he's like, he's good, he's healthy. And like, me being in there, it's like every time I get out of a fight and I'm healthy, it's like, I'm blessed. I'm already blessed. Man. But Aljo, Aljo getting like 25 minutes fighting Cejudo and being healthy and with a victory, that's a blessing, man. And it's on to the next.
And his cardio looked insane too.
Oh yeah, man. He's prepared. He's the champion of the world, and he knows what he has to do to prepare for a fight, and he does it. That's what we do. And it's nice.
And what'd you think of the post fight antics with Sugar Sean coming into the octagon and then Merab jacking his jacket, and Merab was kind of the star of the show. It's so funny, man. It was so funny.
I loved it. Merab looked good in that jacket, and Merab is the fucking man. Always there, like when I was warming up and stuff, he's like massaging me and just like chopping my back, and like he's just like, brother, go out there, do your best.
Yep,
do your best. I'm like, thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, you guys got a close team, man. You can tell you guys got a close knit team.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna go into the gym tonight, see everyone. I'm pumped, man, and I'm pretty healthy too. My hand's a little messed up, my wrist. But I think I'm good, man.
Yeah, you'll be good to go here. You'll be good to go. Now, Dana did mention maybe Sugar Sean and Aljo fighting. I think it was November, if that's right, Jim. November in Boston.
Wow, that would be sick.
So I could see a Patty Pimlet steamroller Boston going down too, man. Boston would be a fun place to fight.
Pay-per-view, Aljo main event, steamroller.
That's a big boy. That's a big boy, man.
Oh, that'd be sick. Yeah, that's definitely. I'm pumped for that fight. I hope we get that made, and it'll be a fun build up. Like I love Barstool. I'll try to get out to Barstool.
Yeah, man.
We do some fun stuff for the promotion. I was always telling Robbie Fox that Barstool does the Rough and Rowdy, and I had my brother, the Cheese Roller, fought on Rough and Rowdy.
Oh, that's right. I knew that. That's right.
And I was like, we got to do Ultimate Fighter, like Rough and Rowdy. I'll do like Team Strong Island. I'll get a bunch of my Long Island Hardo buddies. I'll train them up in boxing. He'll get a bunch of Scousers.
That'd be cool.
And
That'd be sick. That'd be really sick. Hell yeah. Yeah, well, hopefully you don't have a fight coming up too soon, man. So we got to get you out to L.A., get you on a companion. We'll look at the schedule. We'll get you out here, man. Be fun.
Real quick, Brent.
Yeah.
So August 19th is the targeted time for 292 for O'Malley versus...
August 19th?
August 19th. And then they're saying... Or there was 4 of 15 takedowns for Aljamain. He got landed 4 takedowns out of 15 tries.
Oh, yeah, 4. Yeah. But he did land officially 4 takedowns?
Yep.
And August 14th and August 14th.
August 19th?
19th, that's in Boston?
Yeah, looks like it.
That'll work.
Yeah, maybe. I think that's probably too soon, but we'll see.
I was going to say that's too soon for Patty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and probably too soon. And there's no rush either, man. You know, enjoy the win, get back to training, get better, get the tools going. You're not hurt, you know.
Yeah. You know, next man up. You know, I know Nazim will get a fight soon. Hopefully, International Fight Week. Hopefully, you know, I could get out to Vegas for that. And Billy Q will be up, you know, soon enough.
Yeah, God dang, you get your guys' whole squad, man. You're busy.
Yeah.
Billy Q's a beast too, man.
Yeah, he is, man. And it was awesome, you know, having him out in my corner all fight week, you know. And then I'm always with him every fight week, and we just crush it. You know, we crushed the weight cut. The fight week went like perfectly smooth. You know, it's like we know how to do this now, you know, and we're enjoying, like, you know, every step of the way. I always got my dad, my brother, everybody just running around the fighter hotel, like having a good time. Yeah, it was cool, man.
What are you gonna do with? You're a smart guy with your money. You got the $50K bonus. What do you plan to do with that bad boy?
We'll see. You know, I told my wife we can decorate the house now. You know, we just renovated everything, got a new kitchen in.
It's looking nice there, man. Kitchen's done, granite counter there.
Oh, the bulldozer.
Oh, is that bulldozer? What's up, Pops?
Hey, man, still living on cloud 9.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, there's nothing better. There's nothing, and he's not only did he get the win, he got the bonus, and he's not injured. There's nothing better as a family member, man.
Hey, 3 knockout, 3 first-round knockout.
Yeah, we're going Sizzler, Pops. We're going Sizzler, man. Your dad got some big-ass dick beaters on him, too, dude. Your dad got some big mitts on him, man.
That's he's got those are the original F-bombs.
Those are the original.
Far from the tree.
I love it, man. And then where's Big Cheese Roller at?
He's working, but he'll be back here soon.
What's he do for work?
My dad started construction companies, so now my brother kind of takes over.
Love it, man. You guys are so Strong Island. This is so. If I was writing a sitcom, I'd write it after you guys.
Yeah, so we live right on the water in Long Island, in the bay, and we get it popping like every summer here. We got the boats and stuff.
Oh damn, dude, you're doing it right.
Yeah, we got the jet skis in the water.
Damn, see that Chin? Chin's mouth is salivating. He wants to murder some fish out there.
You guys got to come to Long Island,
dude. That's not a bad idea. I'll book a venue out there and get out there, man.
The Paramount right in Huntington. I saw like Tim Dillon there, Jim Brewer there.
The big boys.
Dude, it's a sick spot.
Yeah, that'd be dope, man.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy your time, brother. I'm sure you're making all the rounds. I'm sure all the media wants to get a hold of that beautiful red beard of yours.
Yeah, I'm talking to Weidman after this, and then talking to Helwani, and then Bisping.
Oh man, you only uphill from here, my man. You started here, and then you're going to the big boys.
I know, shit's crazy.
Yeah, you deserve it, brother. You deserve it, man, and you're a good person, and fans can feel it, you know. So this is just the start for you, man. I'm so excited for you. You're a fucking good dude. You deserve this, man. And we're gonna get you out here. Hopefully your fight doesn't get announced like too soon, you know, because the summer it's gonna be a steamroller summer, man. We're gonna get you to LA and flex those red muscles.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. I can't wait to get out there.
Yeah, brother. Have a great day, man. You deserve it. Try and stop and smell the roses a little bit, man. You know.
Thanks, dude. Don't worry, I'm smelling it.
Yeah, brother. Tell your dad I said bye and keep those hands, you know, in the chamber there, dude.
All right. Thanks, bro. Have a good one.
Brother. Have a good one, man. I'll hit you up later.
Later,
brother. What do you got, Chin?
All right. Let's start with this.
And, you know, and not to think, I thought George was fantastic.
Yeah.
George is asking the common fan questions when usually, we usually have Brian for that, but George was asking because sometimes I make the mistake, and it's, everyone has holes in the way they do shows or analysts. I'm so into the weeds because I fought in the UFC and I know a lot about mixed martial arts, where I'll just go from point A to point F. Where George is like, hold on, let's go back to A. Like, and Dom's like, I like this, man. It's rare I get asked these questions. I'm like, me too. And if it's Brian doing it, we light him up, right? We're like, you piece of
because he can handle it.
We're like, you piece of shit. But with George, we're like, good question, man.
By the way, shout out to George because he did his homework. He brought in note cards.
He came in an hour early and had colored note cards.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is that? He's like, I'm going to give my analysis. And he goes, because I haven't seen these guys fight. And I researched him before I came on. I'm like,
props to him for that.
That's why you're going to be successful, dude. Because most people show up like, what am I watching? You're like, god damn, dude. And then I have to discuss it. And my fan base already knows most of it. But George is great.
Yeah, he's fun.
Nice guy.
Yeah. All right, so the first one is, I didn't realize this happened over the weekend, but Roy Nelson, I don't know if he was retired or not, but he actually did a bare knuckle event. And of course, he jacked up the dude.
Dude, this is from Game Bread. Who the hell wants to fight Roy Nelson bare knuckle?
And it's called Game Bread Bare Knuckle MMA. So this is obviously Jorge Masvidal's organization.
Yeah, shout out to Jorge.
But so you do bare knuckle, but you can also do MMA as well. So it's not just stand up.
Oh, so this wasn't just like BKFC?
No.
Like they can actually grapple too?
Basically UFC, but bare knuckle.
I mean, Roy Nelson's going to go undefeated.
I know, because he's perfect for that, right?
He's perfect. Hits like a Mack truck, can't take him down. If you do take him down, you got a world of problem.
And this is from Kaposa's Twitter.
Roy looks exactly the same.
Touch right hand again. Roy answers with the right. They're just in the pocket.
Roy is built for this.
Just what Jorge.
That's Robin Black, too.
Oh, our boy Robin Black's the commentator? This makes you like this even more.
1 minute 40 seconds.
Oh! God, dog.
Yeah.
Very, very Tank Abbott vibes there.
Yeah, totally old school style.
Yeah.
But bare knuckle MMA.
Good luck beating freaking Roy Nelson bare knuckle. Good luck.
Indeed. Also, the fight over the weekend, I didn't watch it, but Canelo Alvarez fought John Ryder, and of course, he destroyed him. It's unanimous decision, but yeah.
He's a minus 2,000 favorite.
Yeah, so it should have destroyed him for sure.
His walkout was dope. Probably, this is saying a lot because one championship was over the weekend, but his walkout, probably the best you'll see. Insane.
Canelo?
Canelo's walkout was nuts. He fights the Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Oh, yeah. So I heard that he also gave up like $10 million just to fight in Guadalajara.
Yeah,
just to
That's
do
his
it there.
hometown.
Yeah.
Hometown.
So that was pretty dope.
Oh, my girl's family goes nuts for it.
Of course.
I messed up, Mr. Spoiler McGee here, because we're doing the UFC, and I text him like, heard about the Canelo fight. Figured he'd get a knockout, but decision not worth the $80, huh? She's like, you piece of shit. We were watching the UFC and we recorded Canelo. I went, whoops.
Oh, damn.
I went, whoops.
Yeah, that sucks.
Whoop, my bad. Thought you guys were fans.
And even staying away from your phone if you didn't watch a fight, man, that's
also texting, don't tell me what happens, because obviously I'm going to know.
Yeah.
I'm the worst guy to text fights about. I assume you're watching. Like when Rogan's not working, I'm like, dude, how about that knockout? I'd be like, don't fucking tell him. Like, how am I supposed to know you're hunting? I mean, we talk MMA, dude. It's a big weekend.
I remember I would hear about like some crazy news stories in MMA, and I would text you immediately like you didn't hear about it. But then now, even me, by the time someone texts me, I heard about it so many times. So I don't bother you unless it's like I found out like seconds ago.
And usually I'll know unless it's a big deal. And, and like if I'm on stage,
Yeah.
But other than that.
I'm sure you have a million people texting you. So this is Brandon Moreno calling out Henry Cejudo after his win. And he said that he didn't even care about the belts. They're homies, by the way. They're both, Mexican.
Interesting.
He said he would go up to 135 to fight Cejudo. Like, didn't care about the belts, just wants to fight him in Mexico.
I mean, I'd love that. It's a great fight. But I also saw Henry Cejudo because, I guess for Cejudo, people are like, oh, what's he do now? Cejudo's all about belts and the Triple C, stuff like that. And his plan was to, go up to 145 and fight Volkanovski, but obviously losing to Sterling takes that away. And he's about belts. So part of me is like, yeah, well, the belt thing's kind of gone now, losing to Aljo. So the Sugar Sean fight's out the window. The Merab fight, for a title, if he's a title holder, would have made sense. And then Volkanovski's definitely not going to fight him now because, it doesn't make a ton of sense. But then part of me is like, a guy like Henry Cejudo is not going to retire because he's waited 3 years to get himself in this shape, 3 years to get to this mental place where he wants to compete. I highly doubt win or lose, he's going to retire. And I did see Henry Cejudo get on Twitter and call it Merab. Because you beat Merab, yeah, man, you're right back where you want to be. That makes the most sense. The Merab fight makes the most sense. Now it's like for our boy Corey Sandhagen, because Corey wants the Merab fight to get a title shot. But for Henry Cejudo and Merab, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but I would definitely, I'm guessing fans would also think that they would want to see Corey versus Merab first before Cejudo.
Agree.
Especially after the loss.
But with UFC, it's like, are they going to try to get all they can of Henry Cejudo before he retires? Do the Merab fight? And for Aljo fighting Sugar next, guaranteed, Merab's there. He's the rightful, title contender. Makes sense. Merab Cejudo makes the most sense, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right, so this was from the UFC Embedded. Because Chrome Greasy from
Trained
back in the days,
for years,
with Henry and all them. So this was kind of a little bit weird. This is, I'm sure you've done this before. You have to sign posters.
Takes forever, yeah.
Right?
Like 100 of them.
And they have
all the fighters are there. Yeah, even your opponent will be there across from you signing.
So they were doing this, and then I guess Crone was being cool with Henry Cejudo for a little bit. So Henry, because I don't know if I could play this clip, but Henry's like, hey, what's up, how you doing? Blah, blah. And then it was cool. And then he's like, hey, so how's Nate? Is Nate coming? And then Crone's like, no, Nate has his kid's birthday party today. He goes, and then Henry's like, fucking Nate, Nate, whatever. And then he was like, looking at his pictures, like, I look so good looking. Henry Cejudo saying that about his own picture. And then Crone's just like, let me know when he's done and I'll come back. Like, he was like, not in a good mood.
He's cutting weight too. So Crone's cutting weight.
That's what Henry Cejudo said.
Yeah, Crone's cutting weight to give Crone a little bit of leeway here. He's cutting weight. And then also, Crone, again, not only is his fighting style old school, but also his mentality. So he doesn't like the showmanship, the WWE thing. He's not going to play that shit. He's just not. And he knows Henry does that stuff. So he's like, I don't want to be part of this, dude. Let me know when he's done. That's all it is. I don't think it has any reflection on Henry Cejudo as a person. I think Henry Cejudo, the entertainer, he doesn't want to be part of it. Yeah. It's just not in Crone's DNA.
Henry said the same pretty much. He's like, yeah, he's cutting weight. He's probably like not in a good mood.
Yeah, I just don't think he wants to be. He's like, dude, I'm just trying to sign these fucking posters and kept the rest of the weight. Let me know when he's done. I don't want to be part of this. That's all it is.
Yeah. All right. These are two pretty heavy ones. I'm sure you've seen this or heard about this already. Jorge Masvidal's dad was at Jorge Masvidal's place and apparently shot some guy twice, 2 times. One time in one arm, one time the other arm.
Oh, so he didn't kill him?
It was over an argument, yeah. And I'm guessing they know each other and they're in the house. Yeah. It was late at night. So it's
Jesus Christ. The dad's mugshot is tough.
Dude, he looks like a straight up like OG, you know?
He looks how you think Jorge Masvidal's dad looks exactly. When you let your son fight in backyard brawls at 14, this is exactly what your dad's going to look like.
So attempted murder, man. How crazy is that?
Go away for a hot second.
Dude. Yeah.
Especially in Florida.
Yeah, no idea what's going to happen so far, but I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what's going to happen. He's going to prison.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of story they can with defense.
Yeah, unless it was self-defense. Who knows? I'm sure we'll get the rest of the details, but this initial report is not good if you're a Jorge father fan.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
That's a bummer.
Another bummer, Tony Ferguson. I guess it's around like 2 a.m. in Hollywood. He was
cornering somebody, though.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was driving back after a local event.
I didn't know that.
Pretty sure.
But there he was by a club after the cornering, they went to a club or something.
Yeah, maybe it was the after fight party.
Yeah, and then so he crashed into. At first they thought it was 2 cars, but then they're saying it's 4 different cars, and his truck flipped over to the side. And he's fine, everyone's fine, but he's arrested for DUI, and he wouldn't take a sobriety test.
Smart.
So,
well, that's probably
you got to do that.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And then hire a lawyer and don't say shit.
Yep.
Yikes.
But that sucks. And there was video of him being arrested.
That's a bummer.
Pictures of him being arrested.
Yeah, I hate seeing that shit, man.
Yeah, man.
driving drunk is not cool, kids.
No. Sober up.
Got hit 4 cars, just like crazy eyes off fucking Big Daddy.
If you're that tossed, then yeah. But also Uber.
Yeah, that's why there's Uber, yeah.
So Francis Ngannou, remember, it came out that Chatri, I don't think we talked about it on the show since, but it came out that Chatri said that he offered him $20 million and
pay-per-view percentage.
Exactly, yeah. But then there was rumors about Chatri saying that Ngannou wanted a seat on the board of directors or whatever. Since then, I guess Ariel Helwani reported that Ngannou called him and said that, no, I didn't want to necessarily get a seat on the directors. I wanted to make sure my opponent got a certain amount, no less than a certain amount or whatever. I forgot what it was.
That's silly.
Yeah. And then he just said, some promoters, man. And he put a Two-Face meme in the chair.
I mean, promoters are going to promote, right? Like they take for a grain of salt, you know? I don't know. You know, if Chatri did offer him that money and he turned it down, I assume, you know, like we said before, he has some big fish on the line to turn that down. Because let's say that Chatri's exaggerating, offered him half of that, 10 million guaranteed. UFC didn't offer 10 million guaranteed. 10 mil per fight is nuts. And a pay-per-view percentage, nutsos. Mm-hmm. So even if it's half of that, you would assume Francis, being a smart guy, has some other big fish on the line. Now, Chael came out and said he signed with PFL. I assume that PFL money is going to be insane.
That is the rumor. That's the most
supposed to be announced this
likely
week.
Place. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but also promoters going to promote. Like, remember when even Scott Coker's a great guy. You know, great guy, has a good track record, come out and goes, we're in negotiation with Francis. They were never in negotiation with Francis. Because Bellator knew that PFL was going to buy them. This has been going on for months. I hate to tell you guys. Most people in the fight world knew this was happening. So we knew that transaction was in the process of happening. So if you're Bellator, you're not going to try and sign Francis because you know you're going to be folded into the PFL banner. So PFL's doing the negotiation. But this is just what promoters do. Doesn't make them bad people. Now, what they say, should you take it as word? They're businessmen. So they're protecting their business. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, we've learned a lot about promoters since I worked here. I've learned so much more about promoters. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so what do you think about Kamaru Usman actually calling out Khamzat Chimaev? He said, he said he's in a good place right now. He's like finally loving getting back into the training and all that stuff. And being
Kamaru said that, or
Kamaru?
Uh-huh.
And then he wanted to fight Chimaev.
Dude, and we talked about this with Dom on the Calabasas Fight Companion. You just talk about the balls on Kamaru Usman, a fighter's fighter. Out of all the guys, you want to fight Khamzat? What?
Yeah.
Insane. Hate the fight for Kamaru. But how can you not respect Kamaru? Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Now, as a Khamzat fan, I don't want to see him at 170. It's too much of a weight cut, depletes all his, nutrients. I don't want that for him. 85 is where he should be at.
I think since then he has said like he would go up to 185 to fight Chimaev. Kamaru would.
Oh, so now let me get this. Check out the fucking Nigerian nutsack on Kamaru Usman. Now, not only are you going to offer a fight with Khamzat, but you're going to meet him at 185, where the dude's natural weight class is, and you've never fought at 85? You're giving me not only 170 would be a tough task. Even if Khamzat can make that weight, that's not going to favor Kamaru, even at 170. At 185, he probably goes from a 4-1 underdog to 8-1 dog. You're talking about a former world champion. The balls on Kamaru, how can you not respect it? I hope it's for somebody else at 85. I don't want Kamaru's last fight to be Khamzat for a variety of reasons. I think for Khamzat too, at 85, Paulo Costa makes more sense. There's a lot better fights at 85 to make for him.
This is how Khamzat replied, by the way.
Someone needs to be poisoned for retirement. Yeah, I hope they don't do that to Kamaru, especially 85. What are we doing?
Yeah.
But man, shout out to Kamaru, dude. One of the GOATs for a reason.
Balls, yeah. This is another thing that happened. I think this was a post-fight press conference when Dana White was talking about the slap league.
Whenever I see Dan talk about Power Slap Fight League, look, so the headline is, it's number one in all of sports above NFL, NBA, NHL, F1, WWE combined. First of all, that's not true. Second of all, You know when you move on, you break up with a girl, and then she's posted on Instagram how great her life is? It's like, okay. If you're so happy, why you keep telling us?
Yeah.
People that are actually happy and crushing it don't keep. Well, on TikTok, we're doing better than all these leagues. Okay. Hey, dude, you made a mistake. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, and I guess one of the reporters was from MMA Mania. He was just like, I don't want to be like disrespectful with this, but yeah, does that sound like I forgot how he worded it, but it was funny. And then Dana was, I don't give a fuck if you laugh, or don't you think people are laughing at you, not with you, something like that?
Yeah.
And he goes, if I'm doing this, I'm making this much, whatever. I'm selling it for. I guess he sold it for as much as or more than after the UFC after Tough, something along those lines. Or he sold it to something. And do you give a shit if they're laughing with me or at me? I don't care because I'm making the money.
I'm with Dana. Yeah, if you're getting yours and we don't know the numbers behind it, get yours, man. Yeah. So the deal that I just cut for Slap,
there it is right there.
Slap is bigger than the UFC deal we cut with Spike TV after the first season Ultimate Fighter. I don't give a shit what the media thinks about it. They don't matter. It's unbelievable. Not only is it unbelievable money-wise, it's unbelievable as far as social media goes. Because you can doubt all you want. Most of you guys don't understand social media, how it works. I'll give you the numbers on Slap that were done by a third party that does this. We didn't pull the numbers. These guys are the Nelson numbers for social media. We destroy everything in sports with Power Slap. Yeah, so does bum fights. So does ISIS beheadings. Okay.
Yeah. Well, make your money. Oh, what do you think about this? So Rich Franklin recently said that Anderson Silva will always be GOAT.
Well, he's going to say that because he fought Anderson and lost.
True, and that was old school.
That's old school. But also Anderson tested positive.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that. I'll never.
No, Izzy passed Anderson, and Izzy beat Anderson. Now, granted, the older Anderson, but
he did beat him. Yeah.
And Izzy fought higher level of competition. It's just these are the facts. It's I love Anderson. He's one of the GOATs, but as far as body of work, Izzy's better. And again, it's not a knock on Anderson. It's just the game evolves, gets better. Izzy's fighting better competition. Let me ask you this: you think Anderson Silva would beat Alex Pereira?
No,
absolutely not. You think Anderson Silva would have beat Robert Whittaker twice? Nope. And it's not a knock on Anderson. It's just the level of competition these days.
All right, let's just do a couple more. Here's a quick one. This is about Conor McGregor's, I guess, Audiatar, their Paradigm team, management team. I guess Pacquiao and him had issues before, and then Pacquiao did a lawsuit. Well, Pacquiao lost that lawsuit.
Yeah, I saw Conor goes in Artem's next. Remember
yeah,
the
he said
stuff?
he would take his house since he doesn't really have money.
Jesus, dude.
I don't know. But I mean,
hate to see it.
Artem doing that, it's just shady too, right?
Dude,
so I don't know. I don't know the details.
People are rats. Especially that was your boy, took care of you.
Exactly.
The only reason we know of you is because Conor. People are rats.
Exactly.
People suck. Trust me.
So this is in Vegas. It's a quick one as well. Nick Diaz. And I guess, I don't know what happened if Nick was driving or his friend was driving, but apparently they bumped another car. The car was some sort of music artist. And the guy was trying to, standing up to Nick, and Nick is actually trying to de-escalate the situation. So I'll play it real quick.
Hey, bro, chill.
Does he know who Nick is?
Bottom line is, you're gonna be all right. We don't want any problems. I said that. I'm trying to resolve the situation. Hey, honestly, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? What are you motherfuckers? What are you talking about? We're good. Everything's fine. We're leaving.
Because I don't get down like that. Like
what? It was an accident.
What you mean? You talking about do you want some? What are you talking about?
Look, I said you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be okay or what?
You said, do I want some or what?
I said, what is it that you want?
Oh, that's what you
motherfucking want some. We don't.
Want some or what?
Look, everybody.
What are we talking about here?
Come
on, let's go, nigga. I'm not trying to make a big nothing out of it.
The guy's barking up the wrong tree.
Can you imagine?
And they're lucky this is older Nick who's like, I don't need the legal battles here. But this is young Nick, bud. You about to find out the hard way. If it was Nate, let me see this guy. Okay.
This is all I saw. I guess he plays.
I bet his comments are going to be fun.
So I did.
Now look, now it says comments on these posts have been limited.
Yes, and I did look through it.
You fucked up.
There's no comments
That,
here.
trust me, I know that Nate Diaz fan base will come after you.
Yeah.
He had to turn all his comments off.
Yep.
He only has 3 posts.
I saw his videos too. I had to go way down to see comments, but yeah. They're just like, dude, you realize who the hell you could have just gotten killed or destroyed. Yeah.
Yes, you escaped an anaconda there, my man.
Yeah. You know what? That's pretty. Let me see here. Oh, this one's kind of a. We won't watch this. This guy bit someone's ear to get a choke, and he got disqualified, basically.
Yeah, I heard his. He responded and was like, "You think I need to bite somebody's ear to get a
but
win?"
you look at the video.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
like,
that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, and his face. I don't know why he looks like someone that would bite.
He looks like a
just
biter.
looks like a-
yeah,
But
you can tell kids that are biters too, man. I see my son's friends like, "Oh, he's a biter." Just have that.
kids,
weird
I
look,
understand though.
I guess.
Let's. Do you want? Have you even heard about this one yet? I don't know if it's too controversial.
Transgender MMA fighter accepts Jake Shields' fight challenge, going to F you up.
So Jake Shields said something like, "I would take on 10 transgender fighters in a row,"
Yeah.
something like that. And I guess one of them accepted.
One was like, I'm in. All right, where's the other 9 though?
And there's no way this person would win.
No, there's a lot going on there to dive into.
Yeah. All right. Oh, here's just a quick one then. Last one. So Jake Paul, Nate Diaz, their press conference is going to be tomorrow, May 9th.
In Dallas, where are they doing that?
I didn't look at the actual place. Yeah.
That's where the fight's at. Hell yeah.
Somewhere in Texas.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Dallas, Texas. American Airlines Center.
Dope. Can't wait for that fight. All right, let's get out of here, dude. What do we got for the rest of the weekend? We got a great fight night. Rozenstruik Almeida is a fun one. The best fight on the card. Man, it's a great fight night. You got, and this is ABC. You got Anthony Smith, Johnny Walker. Great fight. Part of me, as much as I love Anthony Smith, I'm dying to see Johnny Walker and Alex Pierre go at it. So we'll see what happens there. But very tough fight for Johnny Walker. Anthony Smith is a monster all the way around. Daniel Rodriguez, Ian Gary is probably the best fight on the card.
Great.
Alex Morano, Tim Means. They stacked this thing on ABC. They stacked it with all potential fight of the nights. They didn't stack it with superstars though, so it's interesting. Matt Brown, Court McGree, that's a throwback from way back in the day. Carl Williams, Chase Sherman's fun. Cody Stamen, Carlos Ulberg. Yeah, it's a good card. Really good card. Brian Battle, take my money. Jessica Rose Clark, a little thick doing the damn thing. I'm excited, man.
There's a little Bellator as well.
Bellator, you got Leon Edwards' brother fighting Gegard Mousasi. Brent Primus is fighting Douglas Lima. Good fights for the weekend. I'm in town.
Friday, I believe.
Holla.
And then there's a UFL as well.
You got UFL on Rumble. That's May 13th. You got Rampage Jackson's son fighting.
Raja.
What's his first name?
Raja?
Raja's fighting.
Yeah, Raja.
And it's actually in Rampage's hometown. It's in Memphis.
Tennessee, yeah.
It's going to be a special night for Rampage, dude. Your main event, you got Trey Manley, Angel Alvarez fighting. Lightweight. And then they start their Grand Prix as well. So yeah, it's going to be a fun card. That's on Rumble.
Cool.
Is that it, dude?
That should be it.
All right, kids. Thanks for tuning in. Your boy locally, for most of May, I'm taking off, but I'll be doing sets all around town. I have a set Friday night at the Laugh Factory, and then Pasadena Schaub and Friends Ice House May 19th. Me and some monster comics will be in Pasadena at the Ice House. One show only, I think it's at 8 p.m. on May 19th. And then June, first week of June, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, La Jolla Comedy Store. That is Friday, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, 1 show Sunday in La Jolla, California at the Comedy Store. And then starting June 15th, I'm jumping over the pond. Starts in Belfast, June 15th, Glasgow, June 17th, Manchester, June 18th, London, June 22nd, Cardiff, June 23rd. And I'm ending the Europe trip in Dublin, June 25th in Ireland. That's a theater run, 1 show in every city. Get you some right now at thickboy.com. Tiger Thick merch just went on sale as well. Went on sale on Friday, actually, but we're getting to it today. So the new Tiger Thick merch, you got the maroon hoodies, maroon tees, black tees, black hoodies, all Tiger Thick, whiskey glasses, Tiger Thick, steel ice cubes. It's some dope stuff. So if you support Tiger Thick, come get you some. Thickboy.com. And we're back $59.99 across the board, so get you a bottle while you're at it. All right? All right, kids, that's it. Ice House, I will see you May 19th. And then La Jolla, first week of June, I'm off to Europe, starting June 15th in Belfast. Tickets at thickboy.com, merch, whiskey, thickboy.com. Love you guys. Hope you enjoyed the fights. Calabasas Fight Companion is available right now. Go tune in. It's with the great Dominick Cruz. It's a fun one. So go enjoy. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Love you guys. Till next week. See ya.